Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. It's your boy, World of Wrestling, here today to discuss about WWE Monday Night Raw, January 27th, 2025 review. Last night's Raw was a very entertaining Raw. It had some good moments, had some whatever moments. I mean, I wasn't paying all attention to it completely, but it was a fairly entertaining show. The first thing that happened, Seth Rollins came out, and he gets in the ring, welcomes everyone to Monday Night Rollins, hypes up the crowd, and he mentions how it's his favorite time of the year because it's almost WrestleMania season, and that begins on Saturday when he wins the Royal Rumble. And he wins the Royal Rumble, and he says that 2025 got off in a bad start. He says the debut of Netflix, he lost to CM Punk, and in that moment, he thought to himself, "Who are you?" A loud CM Punk chant from the crowd. Seth asked himself who he is and who he wants to be. Says he is Seth freaking Rollins, and when he knows who he is, there is nobody on the planet that is better than him. Seth says he's decided to start his path to redemption, and it started last week against Drew, and it continues at the Royal Rumble. He says he will eliminate John Cena, Jey Uso, Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn, Roman Reigns. A loud OTC chant breaks out in the crowd as Seth pauses. Seth says he will toss Roman Reigns out as well, and he hopes his dream is CM Punk is the last guy he eliminates, and he can crush Punk's WrestleMania main event dreams to dust. He says he is the man on a mission, but which championship will he go after? The ring general Gunther, one of the best to do it, but everyone knows Gunther is holding onto that title until Seth decides to go after it again. But then there's also the WWE Championship, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. He has been thinking, wouldn't it be poetic if he took the same title from Cody at WrestleMania this year that he helped him win last year? Decisions. Oh, this was a nice little touch here. Everything that they did weeks leading up to this Royal Rumble, I liked, because they give every aspect of every participant in this Rumble, the audience, the belief that there is a possibility that they could win the match with good reason. Jey Uso later on in this event does that. He talks about how he would love to win the Royal Rumble and face Gunther one more time for the world title at WrestleMania, which could be a possibility. There is definitely something there that people would grasp onto. It definitely would be a shocker to a lot of people. It would not be something that anyone expected to see. So it definitely would be different, and it would make sense all at the same time. And then him winning the world title from Gunther at WrestleMania would also make a lot of sense too. That would be the first big championship that Jey Uso's ever had. And then going on to become world champion, have a reign throughout the year of 2025. Not the one that he had with the IC title. That was a joke championship run, honestly. But for him to get a world title opportunity to run with the title for, through 2025 until, let's say, SummerSlam or through the September or October, and then lose the title to someone else, I would not be opposed to that idea. I wouldn't. I definitely see CM Punk still. After all of this, I still see CM Punk winning the Royal Rumble. I really do. I know it's probably the most predictable one out of the bunch. I think he's the only one that we can at all see winning the Royal Rumble. Seth Rollins wouldn't make a lot of sense. I mean, technically, Punk may not win the Royal Rumble because of the Seth Rollins equation involved. We're going to have to see how that all unfolds as it happens. So predicting it right out of the gate, I don't know. Jey Uso would be an interesting choice. I don't think anybody would expect that to happen. Definitely a shocker. But I expect that CM Punk should win and move on from this. I think he's going to go after the WWE Championship, and he's going to have Paul Heyman as his manager for this matchup, and that is going to be the favor that Paul Heyman is going to give to CM Punk so that Punk can win the world title from Cody Rhodes. I think that is the direction we're going to go with going into WrestleMania. This is also going to lead to Roman Reigns and CM Punk at SummerSlam. I think Punk is going to win the WWE Championship from Cody Rhodes. And I think this is all going to lead to Roman Reigns, CM Punk at SummerSlam. And Punk is going to lose the WWE Championship to Roman Reigns. That's what I think it might happen. Just my thoughts. I might be wrong about it. They may go ahead and go with Seth Rollins, CM Punk rematch. Book that as the main event for night 1. Anyways, which can happen. I wouldn't put it past them doing that either. So I would be fine with that. But I do think that we are going to see a CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes match for the world title at WrestleMania in the main event of night 2. I don't think this is going to be Punk getting the so-called night 1 main event. I think he is literally going to get the main event of WrestleMania. I don't think this is just, oh, you get the main event WrestleMania on night 1. Yeah. That to me, I've told you guys this countless times. Night 1's main event to me is not the main event. Because if it is, then we are moving past WrestleMania and moving on to the next episode. To me, it's not the main event, but they call it the main event regardless, which is fine because it is the last match of night 1. But to me, it's not the last match of WrestleMania since there are 2 nights. Just my opinion, my viewpoint on that. But anyway, so as he's about to ask the crowd which title he should go after, Gunther's music hits, and out he comes wearing a suit with the title around his waist. Gunther gets in the ring and Seth looks at the championship. He asks Gunther if he is keeping the title warm for him. Gunther asks Seth where has he been the last few months. Gunther says on Saturday he was in San Antonio defending his title against the clown Jey Uso. The fans yeet and Gunther tells them not to get too excited because he beat his ass. Which is the truth. He won. But Seth has been crying and complaining. He says Seth has forgotten what really matters in the company, and if he were Seth, he would cancel out the noise and focus on winning the Royal Rumble, even though he's unsure if Seth still has it in him. Seth tells Gunther that the title would not exist without him. That title is not synonymous with Gunther. That's a title he made. And with all respect to Damian Priest, Finn Balor, or Jey Uso, Gunther cuts him off and says he knows he is Seth Rollins, one of the best wrestlers to ever step foot in this company. He created so many memorable moments, but it's 2025 and Seth is not the best wrestler in the company anymore. Gunther says he is the best and the title proves it. He tells Seth to please go and win the Royal Rumble, to please challenge him at WrestleMania because he will have Seth down and Seth will realize the only name synonymous with the title is his name, Gunther. I fucking love it. Great fucking way of throwing it down on Seth Rollins. Yes, it is true. Seth Rollins did make that title. He was the first one to ever win that new version of the World Heavyweight Championship. But Gunther is one of the best title holders in all of pro wrestling. In this modern day era, he is the best. I know this show's scripted, of course. It's all predetermined. But the way he portrays himself in the ring, his physical stature, his ability to wrestle in the ring, just makes him look like a legitimate champion, a guy that is a true athlete. Even though the matches are predetermined, yes, but just what he does in that ring makes you believe he deserves to win. He's just so fucking good at what he does. Some people may shit on him. Some people may not like his in-ring ability. They may find it stale and boring. I don't. It's straightforward, in your face, hard-hitting, and he will make you fucking bleed in that ring on your chest. He will make you sore as shit. He is a tough son of a bitch. He is probably one of the guys, if I was a pro wrestler, would not want to wrestle. I would not want to get in that ring with that man and have him smash me over the chest with his hand. That shit looks like it hurts. It looks like something Big Show would do to someone, and he ain't even the size of the Big Show, and yet it still looks like it would fucking hurt the shit out of somebody. The way he smashes somebody into the canvas looks like it fucking hurts. Everything he does, it looks legitimate. Doesn't look like, we're watching a predetermined show. He makes it look authentic. That's what's great about him. And that's what I love about his character. He comes across so athletic. He's an athletic, authentic person on television. He looks like he's an athlete, but also at the same time authentic at the same time. And he just gives you that type of feeling in the ring. And on the microphone, like I said before, it's the same repetitive shit, but he points out legitimate facts about different people, their weaknesses, what they're doing wrong in the ring. He gets in their head psychologically. He talks about their weaknesses, where they're going wrong. I mean, in this promo here, he talks about how Seth Rollins is allowing all this background noise to get in his head, and where he should be focused on is the World Heavyweight Championship. He is basically stating that championship belts are secondary and little grudges and drama and bullshit is primary. And his attitude is people should be more focused on the title than worried about their rivals. I think that's very agreeable. I agree with him 100%. Anyway, moving on. Both men are face to face, and Logan Paul's music hits. Logan gets in the ring, and the fans boo loudly and continue to boo even while he's talking. He says Gunther and Seth think they are special, but the more Logan speaks, the louder the fans boo. And Logan says Seth and Gunther command attention because they are great at wrestling, but he commands it because he is great at everything. He says this is the Netflix era and this company needs a new face, one oozing with charisma and confidence. He says Seth and Gunther don't have that. A loud "you suck" chant by the fans, and Logan says he can't hear them as they boo. He tells Seth and Gunther to take note because that's attention. He says they should worry about him, a guy who built a WWE career faster than both of them. Logan says he will enter the Royal Rumble and he won't worry about throwing 29 other guys. That's grunt work. He has to work smarter, not harder. I do have to give him credit. He was funny in this fucking promo, and he did come across a little bit legit. Like, you need to work smarter in this situation. This match is not something you want to have to worry about throwing 29 other men. So he's probably, I think he's the number 30 guy, without even pointing it out. He says he just has to be the last one in the Royal Rumble, and when he wins it, he's going to the main event, WrestleMania, and he can choose Cody or Gunther, and he points at Gunther. Gunther tells Seth that he wants Logan to win the Royal Rumble. That way he can go to WrestleMania and embarrass him. Lad liked that one too. That was very funny because Gunther looks at him as an easier opponent than Seth. Seth laughs at this and says the only person that is going to get embarrassed is Gunther if he decides to take back his title. Seth drops the microphone and his music hits as he leaves the ring. Backstage with Kathy Kelly, CM Punk, we had different people showing up. We cut backstage. CM Punk is with Kathy Kelly. Punk tells her he thinks Logan will fare like everyone else in the Royal Rumble, not CM Punk. He tells Kathy if she was in the Royal Rumble, he would eliminate her too. In comes Sami Zayn, who tells Punk that he heard what he said about him last week when he said Zayn wasn't at his level, and is kind of true because one of them main evented WrestleMania and the other hasn't. Again, I say that Punk should win this. I really do. They keep bringing up Punk's WrestleMania main event a lot. And if that's the case, then that has to be true. It has to be Punk that wins the Royal Rumble. I don't think it's going to be anyone else. But that to me, yes, is playing safe. And if you want to be, a little bit more intriguing and a little bit less predictable, you go with someone else. Who that is, I don't know. There's another way you could put him in the main event of WrestleMania. It's either have him in the Elimination Chamber or have the grudge match that he has with Seth Rollins as main event for night 1. And that's it. That's the only path I see Punk going on. It's either a world title match or him facing Seth Rollins in the main event of night 1. That's all. That's all I see the direction of this turning out to be for CM Punk's WrestleMania moment at this point in time. Hold on a second. So, Zayn walks away and he's stopped by Karrion Kross, though. He tells Zayn that accidentally hitting Jay must have felt good. Zayn tells him he knows what he's doing, and Kross tells him to listen to Kevin Owens. It could be them at WrestleMania and not to think with his heart, think with his head. Kross walks away and in comes Cody Rhodes. Zayn tells him it's good to see him and walks away. That's pretty much it. No actual legitimate interaction between the two, and that's all. So a lot of cracks among the people that have been friends all through 2024 leading into 2025, and it's starting to show. Sami Zayn's doing his own thing. He's kind of venturing off on his own path. Jey Uso, same situation. Jimmy Uso's just basically working alongside with Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman at this point. So nothing's really changed for him. He's basically doing the same old. But everyone else is pretty much doing their own thing at this point. We get the War Raiders defending the tag team titles against Dominic Mysterio and JD McDonough. Entertaining main event. Dominic Mysterio and JD McDonough end up getting the L here. And they end up retaining the tag team titles. They end it with their tag team finisher, the War Machine, and end up walking away as the champion still. We cut to Pete Dunne walking backstage, and he is stopped by Ludwig Kaiser. He tells Pete that things didn't go his way last week, and someone should show that guy last week who or how things are done. In come the New Day, who try to befriend them, but both Pete and Kaiser walk away. In comes Kathy Kelly, and Kofi puts his arm on Xavier Woods and tells her that Atlanta's favorite son is in town. Kathy looks confused, asks if it's Braun Breaker. They tell her no. She asks about Austin Theory. She talks about Cody Rhodes, and they all go, no, it's Xavier Woods. Kofi asks Woods if his family is in attendance yet, and Woods tells him not yet, but they better be soon because he paid a lot for the tickets. Surprising he had to pay a lot for the tickets when he actually works there. I figure they get a discount, or they get to be there for free altogether. That's kind of fun. Next, we had Rey Mysterio, Xavier Woods. Whatever. Xavier Woods' parents were there. They had New Day Suck t-shirts, and he wasn't very happy with that. Gets distracted by all this and then loses to Rey Mysterio by the 619 and hits the splash and goes for the cover for the 1-2-3. LWO and Rey go to ringside and celebrate with the family of Xavier Woods. Rey wears a New Day Sucks t-shirt, and they celebrate together with Kofi Kingston in the ring, confused. We see a clip of Sami Zayn accidentally hitting Seth Rollins with the Luva kit last week. We cut to the locker room and see Zayn and Rollins together. Zayn tells Seth that what happened was an accident, and Seth looks unsure. Seth tells him he knows him that was a mistake, but Zayn has to understand why he feels like it might not have been a mistake. What this thing Zayn has with Roman Reigns does not rest easy with people, including himself. He tells Zayn that was a mistake, but if something like that happens again, he can't be sure it's a mistake. Seth tells him they're good and walks away. Next, Jey Uso music hits, and out comes through the crowd with American rapper Quavo. Jay stands on the announce table and he tells everyone that he lost on Saturday, but he knows he can beat Gunther. Says Seth and Gunther have his name in their mouths, and now he knows what he has to do. This is the thing I'm talking about. They're having every major name in this Royal Rumble interconnected with purpose, with the belief that they have a reason to win the Royal Rumble, leaving it totally unpredictable. And if they choose one of those guys, it will make sense. And that's what makes this Royal Rumble so entertaining and worth watching. I don't care if I'm right or wrong about this Rumble. Whoever wins, it's going to be amazing. If I'm right about CM Punk, I mean, it was an obvious one. He's the most hyped up one because of the WrestleMania main event. But even if he doesn't win, and they go with someone else to make it less predictable, you don't know who the fuck's going to win it. If it ain't Punk, it's anybody. That's all I can say. If it's not CM Punk, it can be anybody at that point. If we see CM Punk eliminated before the final two, then we know it's going to be some random person. We probably don't have a fucking clue who it's going to be. So, it depends. I honestly think it's going to be Punk. That's my number one choice. I'm sticking to it, but I do understand that there's that variable involved with Seth Rollins where it may not lead to him winning the Royal Rumble because he still has to get Seth Rollins off his back. That story is still not over with. And I think a WrestleMania rematch, a match with them at WrestleMania in a rematch would resolve that. And then he can focus on trying to win the world championship at that point. But that's all depending on the direction they want to go. He says he will win the Royal Rumble and he will go to the main event of WrestleMania and become the new World Heavyweight Champion. Next, we go to Jackie Redmond is backstage with the WWE Intercontinental Champion Lyra Valkyria. She tells Jackie that she will take the next big fight that is in front of her, and that is the Royal Rumble. In comes American Made, and Chad Gable tells Lyra that Ivy will take her Intercontinental from her, and they walk away. He also mentions that he would take it from her, and doesn't mention Ivy Nile to actually win it. Like he's going to win a women's championship. Then we see Alpha Academy stretching backstage, and Chad Gable tells them they should be embarrassed for what they have become, and they walk away. I don't know why they keep having Chad Gable go back to the Alpha Academies that he made, and it went nowhere. This American Made is another one that's going nowhere. It's a storyline that is getting no traction, nothing. Chad Gable is one of the best performers in this promotion, one of the best, and yet is not given a good spot on this show. He is one person I feel is underestimated, underutilized, and treated terribly on this show, honestly. But in all honesty, where else is it going to go? AEW? Yeah, the way AEW has been treating their performers as of late in the last year or so, I wouldn't dare step foot in an AEW ring at all for this company. They are shit. By far the absolute worst of the worst. I won't be surprised MJF leaves AEW after he signs after he's done with that contract. Whatever amount of years he's got left on it, I won't be surprised he leaves that company and goes to WWE and instantly becomes a fucking sensation in that promotion. In WWE. Wouldn't be shocked. Next we had Bianca Belair and Naomi. They lost to Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez in a non-title match. So Liv Morgan has went from being a women's world champion to now chasing after tag team goal Raquel Rodriguez. Whatever. Don't matter to me. Match didn't really all that much entertain me anyway. So we cut to Kathy Kelly, who is backstage with Rhea Ripley. She tells Kathy that her body's banged up, but just like she did in Australia, she reminded Nia why she is always on top. Kathy asks her about the Royal Rumble match, and Rhea tells her it doesn't matter who wins because if they decide to face her, they will get brutalized at WrestleMania. In comes Bayley, and she tells Rhea that she might see her at WrestleMania, and Rhea tells her good luck. Bayley turns around, and Io Sky walks in, and she tells Bayley, "See you Saturday," and walks away. A lot of backstage interactions, and then people migrating into another interaction backstage. Something you normally would never see in WWE back when Vince was running it. I'll be honest with you guys, a lot of things we see in WWE now, outside of the logo, everything else is different. Oh yeah, and the arena setup. It looks pretty much the same. But the presentation, the flow, the feel, all of it, it doesn't feel like a WWE that we were used to for so many years under Vince's creativity. And now we have all kinds of things they're trying out, all kinds of formulas they're doing. And it just keeps the show fresh, different, and it feels cool. It feels really awesome to watch the damn shows. Paul Heyman walks down. He's next. He introduces the WWE 2K25 cover of Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman on the bottom right-hand corner of the cover, praying to Roman Reigns as he's getting ready to deliver the Superman punch. Thought that was kind of interesting. So Paul Heyman walks down to the ring to a loud pop from the crowd. He gets in the ring and the fans chant OTC. Heyman introduces himself and he says that he is one behind the one GOAT, the greatest of all time, the one and only tribal chief, and the one who represents WWE in the entire island of relevancy on the cover of WWE 2K25. A giant cover is displayed and we see Roman Reigns on the cover of WWE 2K25. Heyman says he is the one behind the one in 29 versus 1. Roman Reigns is going back to the mindset of one versus all because this is what this Royal Rumble is all about. Roman Reigns told everyone that he was going to take back the Ula Fala. Roman Reigns took back the Ula Fala from Solo Sikoa, and Heyman says, and now Roman Reigns is coming back for his championship, and it all starts this Saturday at the Royal Rumble, because all 29 of them are coming to after Roman Reigns, because Roman Reigns isn't not just the biggest star on Netflix, not just the biggest star in WWE, he's the biggest star in the industry on the face of the planet. With Elon Musk's colonizing Mars, Roman will be the biggest star on that planet too. That was a funny comment. I love that. There are two types of men qualified for the Rumble. One is the one Roman Reigns, and the other is just someone else in that locker room just someone else in that locker room, and they all want to be Roman Reigns. They all get on their hands and knees at night and say, please, dear God, I want to be Roman Reigns. Heyman drops the microphone and Drew McIntyre music hits. Drew comes out and he stares at the giant WWE 2K25 poster that is hanging above the ring with Roman Reigns on it. Drew tells Heyman that he looks kind of nervous. Drew puts his hands on Heyman's shoulder and he tells Heyman the only person that should be nervous is Sami Zayn. A loud "We want Roman" chant from the crowd. Drew tells Heyman that Heyman doesn't like him very much, but just listen to it. He tells Heyman that he should love him because he is responsible for all the success, and Heyman looks confused. He tells Heyman that it pains him, but he is the daddy of the bloodline. Yeah, the daddy of the bloodline. Drew says he hates it, but he won the 2020 Royal Rumble. He eliminated Roman Reigns. He went to the main event at WrestleMania, beats Heyman's client Brock Lesnar, and Heyman went out to sea, and he aligned himself back with Roman Reigns, got in his ear, and they went on the greatest run of Heyman's life. They took over, they made more money. Drew tells Heyman all he is looking for is a very simple thank you, Drew, and Heyman looks unsure of himself. Heyman thanks Drew and tells him he's crowding him right now. Drew apologizes and backs away. He tells Heyman since he did him a favor, he wonders if Heyman can do him a favor. Drew tells Heyman to tell his boy that this Saturday he will target him and beat him within an inch of his life and throw him over the top rope. Heyman gives Drew his word that he will pass the message on to Roman Reigns, and Drew stops Heyman and says he wasn't talking about Roman, he was talking about his boy CM Punk, throwing that little hint out there about the favor that Heyman still owes CM Punk. Love it. And Drew tells Heyman to run, and Heyman leaves the ring. Then we get the main event, Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn. Drew McIntyre ends up winning this match by a roll-up pinfall, very close matchup. no one really had the upper hand over the other. It was pretty close. And it's just Drew McIntyre found an advantage, got the roll up, and got the win. Sami Zayn argues with the referee after the match, and Drew hits Zayn from behind. Cody comes out, and Drew goes for a right hand onto Cody, but Cody ducks, and he hits the Cody cutter onto Drew. Roman is thrown to the outside, and out comes Kevin Owens from behind. Both men fight in the ring, but Drew hits Cody from behind. In comes Zayn, who goes for the Luva kick onto Drew, but Drew moves out of the way, and Zayn hits Cody with the Luva kick in the corner. Drew laughs and leaves the ring while Owens smiles and leaves. Zayn stands in the ring in disbelief. Back from the commercial break, Cody is still in the ring looking at the two titles hanging in the air. Cody says it's not about the belt itself, the one that Owens is convinced will make him a champion. Cody says it is the mindset and work that makes you a champion. He shows up first and he leaves last. He is looking forward to the Royal Rumble where he can move past Owens and Punk's music hits and he comes out. Punk gets in the ring and he is face to face with Cody Rhodes. Punk tells Cody it feels like all of this is starting to get to Cody, and he knows what that belt means. He knows what that title can do to a man. He was champion for 444 days, and somewhere in the 300-day mark, it started to burn him out. He lost friends because of that, and he sees Cody losing friends. He gets it. Cody wants to be Bruno Sammartino. He wants to be John Cena, but no one is Superman. Cody says he doesn't have a lot of friends, and he asks if CM Punk is his friend. Punk says he is, and that is why he is out here, to be his friend. And he promises to always be his friend, in part because of the promise he made to his father, and part because he loves him. A part of him feels he let this fucking damn phone. A part of him feels like he let Cody down, but the truth is, not even his father could have prepared him for this. Cody tells Punk what is next for himself, and Punk tells Cody what is next for Cody is that he is in his hometown. He gets to sleep in his own bed tonight, but he bets that Cody won't sleep at all. Chances are Cody has an early call time to do promotion for his match against Kevin. Maybe he doesn't have a early call time, but he will be thinking about the biggest match in his career. Punk tells him, and after that, if he makes it past Kevin Owens, there's the next show. There's Raw. There's SmackDown. Cody is the poster boy. No matter what, Cody sacrifices less time at home with his daughter and his wife because the belt means something to the both of them. Punk says, while Cody does all that, someone will be getting into the best shape of their life because they want to take that belt away from Cody, and that is good news. Cody asks him to tell him the bad news. Punk tells him the bad news is that somebody is him. Unlike everyone else stabbing him in the back, he will win the Royal Rumble and see him at the main event at WrestleMania. And because he is his one true friend, he will stab him in the front. Cody tells Punk he respects him for telling him that, but when he first showed up in OVW, he met Punk. He says everyone wanted to be Punk, and after that, Punk got called up, and Punk was a champion. Cody was chasing Punk, and after that, there was a 10-year period. Punk was at home, and they were still chasing him, but that all shifted. Their relationship has changed because Cody is not chasing Punk. It's Punk that is chasing him. Love that little twist. That was a nice little touch there. He tells Punk that he hopes he wins the Royal Rumble because he wants Punk to catch up. Cody turns around to leave, and Punk grabs him by the arm and tells him he's not done. Punk tells him that a lot of men wanted Punk to catch up to them, but there is a graveyard of careers of men who wanted him to catch up, and he did. Punk is about to leave, and Cody stops him and tells him he's not done either. Cody tells him he wants him to win because he wants the best in the world to know he is not the best in the world anymore. And Cody Rhodes' music hits, and both men face off as the Raw show goes off the air. I absolutely fucking love that. That was a great ending to this. Those two exchanging words like two men doing swords and just fucking tacking each other back and forth. It was just fucking great. I absolutely loved the ending of this show. This was an excellent ending, the way they did it. And there's really no complaints here. This show is rock solid, good from beginning to end. There was a few matches here and there I didn't care about, like you guys heard, but overall, as creative booking decision goes, fucking fantastic. Every person on this show had a moment where they are expressing their feelings and thoughts and their reason behind why they think they should win, and if they were to win, they'd be believable to win the damn Royal Rumble itself. That's what you got to do to book a good Royal Rumble match, and give everyone an opportunity to be looked at as somebody that you can say, yeah, that person could win, and make sense of it. And that's the way you're supposed to do it. They haven't done shit like that in a very, very long time. And this event has definitely got that going on, going into the Royal Rumble. The stories behind this Royal Rumble pay-per-view is heavily in the men's Royal Rumble. It is huge. The women's Royal Rumble, not so much. I don't really care who the fuck wins it. The women's Royal Rumble could not even be on the card, and I wouldn't give a shit. Because they haven't done enough to get me interested in the women's Royal Rumble as much as they have in the men's. The men's Royal Rumble is stacked as fuck. More than it has ever been in a very long time. And anyone could win this damn thing. And again, like I said, I'm going with Punk, but keep the variable of Seth Rollins interfering with that opportunity. And we could see Seth Rollins Punk at WrestleMania Night 1 in the main event. So it all depends on what they do. But anyway, guys, that's all I have to say at this time. I thank you very much for watching. Go ahead, hit the like button if you liked the video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get back to you on that. I thank you guys very much for watching. And I'll speak to you again tomorrow for AEW Dynamite Review. Oh, God, help us all.